A nuclear weapon, also called an atomic bomb, is an explosive device that derives its destructive force from nuclear reactions, either fission or from a combination of fission and fusion reactions, thermonuclear bomb. According to Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, the worldwide total inventory of nuclear weapons as of 2020 stood at 13,865, of which 3,750 were deployed with operational forces. In early 2020, more than 90% of the world's 13,865 nuclear weapons were owned by Russia and the United States. Here we will discuss top 10 countries with most nuclear weapons in the world. Iran's nuclear program was launched in the 1950s with the help of the United States as part of the Atoms for Peace program. The participation of the United States and Western European governments in Iran's nuclear program continued until the 1979 Iranian Revolution that toppled the last Shah of Iran. Iran is trying to build nuclear weapons and its nuclear program is underway. North Korea was a party to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, but announced a withdrawal on 10 January 2003. After the United States accused it of having a secret uranium enrichment program and cut off energy assistance under the 1994 agreed framework. In October 2006, North Korea stated that, in response to growing intimidation by the United States, it would conduct a nuclear test to confirm its nuclear status. North Korea reported a successful nuclear test on 9 October 2006. In 2020, North Korea have almost 35 nuclear warheads. Israel is widely believed to have been the sixth country in the world to develop nuclear weapons but has not acknowledged its nuclear forces. It had rudimentary, but deliverable, nuclear weapons available as early as 1966. Israel is not a party to the NPT. Israel engages in strategic ambiguity, saying it would not be the first country to introduce nuclear weapons into the region, but refusing to otherwise confirm or deny a nuclear weapons program or arsenal. The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute estimates that Israel has approximately 80 intact nuclear weapons, of which 50 are for delivery by Jericho 2 medium-range ballistic missiles and 30 are gravity bombs for delivery by aircraft. India possesses both nuclear weapons and extensive nuclear fuel cycle capabilities. India tested its first nuclear device in May 1974, and remains outside both the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons (NPT) and the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty (CTBT). As of January 2020, India was estimated to have a stockpile of around 150 warheads, which makes it the world's seventh largest country with have more weapons. Pakistan also is not a party to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Pakistan covertly developed nuclear weapons over decades, beginning in the late 1970s. Pakistani President Zulfikar Ali Bhutto promised in 1971 that if India could build nuclear weapons then Pakistan would too. According to him, we will develop nuclear stockpiles, even if we have to eat grass. In 1998, Pakistan conducted its first 6 nuclear tests at the Rasco Hills in response to the 5 tests conducted by India a few weeks before. As of early 2013, Pakistan was estimated to have had a stockpile of around 140 warheads, and in November 2014 it was projected that by 2020 Pakistan would have enough fissile material for 200 warheads. The United Kingdom tested its first nuclear weapon, Hurricane, in 1952. The United Kingdom was the third country in the world, after the United States and the Soviet Union, to develop and test a nuclear weapon. Its program was motivated to have an independent deterrent against the Soviet Union, while also maintaining its status as a great power. Currently, UK has 215 nuclear weapons in their arsenal. China tested its first nuclear weapon device, 596, in 1964 at the Lopnur test site. The weapon was developed as a deterrent against both the United States and the Soviet Union. 2 years later, China had a fission bomb capable of being put onto a nuclear missile. As of July 2020, China has an estimated total inventory of 280 warheads. France tested its first nuclear weapon in 1960, Gerboise Blue, based mostly on its own research. It was motivated by the Suez Crisis diplomatic tension, both the Soviet Union and its allies, the United States and United Kingdom. It was also relevant to retain great power status, alongside the United Kingdom, during the post-colonial Cold War. France has currently 290 nuclear weapons, which give it to fourth position in the world. The United States developed the first nuclear weapons during World War II in cooperation with the United Kingdom and Canada as part of the Manhattan Project. Out of the fear that Nazi Germany would develop them first, it tested the first nuclear weapon on the 16th of July 1945, Trinity, at 5:30 a.m., and remains the only country to have used nuclear weapons in war, devastating the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The U.S. nuclear arsenal contained 31,175 warheads at its Cold War height, in 1966. During the Cold War, the United States built approximately 70,000 nuclear warheads, more than all other nuclear weapon states combined. The Soviet Union tested its first nuclear weapon, RDS-1, in 1949. This crash project was developed partially with information obtained via espionage during and after World War II. The Soviet Union was the second nation to have developed and tested a nuclear weapon. Currently, Russia has the world's largest arsenal with 6,300 nuclear warheads. After its dissolution in 1991, the Soviet weapons entered officially into the possession of the Russian Federation. The Soviet nuclear arsenal contained some 45,000 warheads at its peak in 1986. The Soviet Union built about 55,000 nuclear warheads since 1949.